Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something that's not just beautiful, but incredibly important for our health and cities: urban green spaces. Whether it's the park down the street or the trees lining your neighborhood, these green spaces play a huge role in making cities more livable. We'll explore the benefits of parks and trees, amazing projects like China's sponge cities, and how iconic spaces like New York's Central Park and London's parks are helping us fight climate change and air pollution. We'll even take a closer look at some of the incredible wildlife that calls these parks home. Let's dive in. First off, what are urban green spaces? These are areas in cities filled with nature like parks, gardens, and even tree-lined streets. They provide a break from all the concrete and buildings, giving us spaces to breathe, play, and relax. But they're not just nice to look at. They play a critical role in tackling some of the biggest challenges cities face today, like air pollution and climate change. So, why are urban green spaces so important for us? Well, they have some benefits. They improve our health by reducing stress and giving us places to exercise. They cool down cities, especially during heat waves, by creating shade and releasing moisture. They absorb pollution, cleaning the air we breathe. And they even help reduce flooding by soaking up rainwater. Studies show that people who live near green spaces are healthier. Just spending time in nature can boost your mood and lower anxiety. Plus, they play a vital role in making cities cleaner and cooler. But it's not just about us. Urban green spaces are also homes for wildlife. Parks and trees create habitats for birds, insects, and small animals, even in busy cities. In New York City's Central Park alone, over 280 species of birds have been recorded, including red-tailed hawks, American robins, and northern cardinals. You can also spot raccoons, eastern gray squirrels, and even bats flying through the trees at night. In London's parks, especially in places like Richmond Park, you'll find large populations of red and fallow deer roaming freely. There are also foxes, hedgehogs, and more than 13,000 species of animals and plants throughout London, including birds like woodpeckers and herons. These green spaces are crucial for biodiversity, providing food, shelter, and safe places for animals. The more green spaces we have, the more wildlife can thrive in urban settings. One amazing example of using green spaces smartly is China's Sponge City initiative. In cities like Wuhan and Shanghai, they're designing parks and green areas to absorb rainwater, just like a sponge. These green spaces not only prevent flooding but also filter the water naturally. By 2030, China aims to have 80% of its urban areas capable of managing rainwater through natural systems. This project is a great example of how urban green spaces can solve real-world problems like flooding while making cities greener and healthier. Now let's talk about one of the most famous urban green spaces in the world, New York City's Central Park. Covering 843 acres, Central Park is a green oasis right in the heart of Manhattan. But this park isn't just a place to hang out, it's critical for fighting pollution, cooling the city, and even absorbing CO2. Central Park helps cool the city by as much as 7 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer months. This makes a huge difference in a city packed with concrete and skyscrapers that trap heat. Plus, the park's 18,000 trees filter harmful pollutants like ozone and nitrogen dioxide, improving air quality for the millions of people who visit and live nearby. Central Park is also a vital habitat for wildlife, providing a home for migratory birds like the wood thrush and permanent residents like the black-crowned night heron. Without green spaces like this, urban environments would be far more polluted and much less livable. Next up, let's head across the Atlantic to London. London is one of the greenest cities in the world, with 47% of its area covered by parks and gardens. Iconic green spaces like Hyde Park, Regent's Park, and Richmond Park not only add beauty to the city but also play a key role in fighting air pollution and climate change. In Richmond Park, you'll find red and fallow deer that have roamed here for centuries. These parks act as green lungs for the city, absorbing carbon dioxide and filtering pollutants. Trees in London remove about 2,261 tons of air pollutants each year, making the air healthier for everyone. Plus, these parks are critical for cooling the city, especially during heat waves. With climate change making summers hotter, having green spaces like this is becoming even more important. London's commitment to preserving and expanding its green spaces is a model for other cities looking to tackle climate challenges. Despite their importance, urban green spaces are under threat. As cities grow, more land is being used for buildings and roads, leaving less room for parks and trees. In some places, green spaces are shrinking as urbanization takes over. Pollution, lack of maintenance, and poor planning are also major challenges. If we're not careful, we could lose the very spaces that make our cities livable. The more we build without thinking about nature, the more we risk losing these crucial benefits. But here's the good news. We have the power to protect and create more green spaces. Cities can invest in creating more parks and urban gardens, even on small plots of land. Rooftop gardens and green walls are great ways to add greenery in dense urban areas, and planting more trees along streets can dramatically improve air quality and cool neighborhoods. By thinking creatively, we can make cities greener and more sustainable, and the benefits go beyond just looking good. Urban trees and parks save cities billions in health and environmental costs.